Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still here with you on our Tuesday morning. A beautiful stretch of weather as we head on in through the next couple days here. We're talking about temperatures feeling more like September as opposed to October 1st. Warm temperatures and lots of sunshine will be around. This will last in through this upcoming weekend. Now, the tropics are active, but nothing that is a threat to us here in eastern Carolina. There's a second area in the Caribbean that I'm watching for slow development that potentially could have something going by the end of this week and have potentially a little bit of impact on our weather. All right, as I said, it's going to feel more like September than October as we go on through this week. So let's take a look back at September. Average high temperature just over 83 degrees. It's about a half degree above average for this time of year. The warmest was 93 degrees. That came 1 month from today at 93 on the 1st, and it wasn't until the end of the month that we saw some temperatures that were down into the 50s and even the 40s like we were earlier this morning. Another month, though, below rainfall, below normal for rainfall, about 2.5 inches below normal. And here's the major stat. No major weather events. Now, keep in mind, September is normally the peak of hurricane season for us here in eastern Carolina and the Atlantic Ocean. No hurricanes whatsoever affecting eastern Carolina and definitely no record events. My Storm Track 12 forecast for you as we head on in through this afternoon. Sunny, comfortable conditions, upper 70s to low 80s. We will be looking at temperatures at the mid-70s at the beaches. If you are planning on headed out towards the Pitt or Onslow County fairs tonight, very similar to what we've seen the last couple nights, where cool, dry conditions dropping out of the 70s into the 60s as the evening wears on under mainly clear skies. And then we'll continue to stay on the clear side with some light patchy ground fog overnight tonight. Temperatures into the low to mid 50s across the cooler inland spots to low 60s at the beaches. Even warmer for tomorrow with that sunshine around, mid to upper 80s. And this is the realm that we are going to be in for the majority of this upcoming week for us here, and even low 70s at the beaches. Here's where we bottomed out at this morning. A lot of 40s showing up on the map. 49 in Kinston, down to 52 in New Bern, 46 in Ahoskie, 50 in Greenville. And a lot of this has to do with the big upper-level ridge that was over us and dominating our weather pattern. In fact, take a look at the wide perspective here. Nothing basically south of I-80 anywhere in the United States here. Now, there are a few showers from an upper-level low across New Orleans, but that storm system off of the coast from yesterday has now moved away, and we've got this upper-level ridge that is going to be our dominant weather feature here for us as we head on in through the next several days. In fact, you can see the center of the ridge is actually sitting back there over the Gulf Coast states here, and what it's actually doing is it's helping to pump warmer air in on slightly northwesterly winds. Now, that upper-level ridge does come eastbound and basically park along the eastern seaboard as we go on through Wednesday. You can see there's where that ridge axis is, and that stays anchored along the east coast this weekend. Notice more southwesterly wind in here Thursday and Friday, and that is going to allow us to see temperatures into the upper 80s. Again, some spots maybe even close to 90 degrees by later this week. Now, also, though, notice where the air is coming from, out of the Gulf of Mexico. So we are going to start to bring a little bit more humidity level back in here. Here's our next trough digging in across the northern plains, and that's going to come eastbound, knock these heights down, and it's also going to eventually bring a cold front our way. But this upper-level ridge holds pretty tight as we head on in through this weekend here, and as a result, that front's going to make slow progress to the east. Some future track shows nothing more than some patchy low-level fog in the early morning hours here, and then we quickly burn that off with lots of sunshine around. Notice our winds start to go more southwesterly as we head through the daytime hours tomorrow. With that high pressure sliding off the east coast, that's going to be giving us those warmer temperatures, and as a result, wall-to-wall sunshine around for today, tomorrow, Thursday, even into Friday, and probably Saturday as well, for that matter, before that front would even start to have an impact on us here in eastern Carolina. Now, we are tracking the tropics for you. There's two areas that I am keeping an eye on. One is sitting up here across the North Atlantic. The second one is down here in the Southwest Caribbean. In fact, the one in the Caribbean looks better this morning on satellite presentation than the actual storm does. That storm is Tropical Storm Jerry, really losing its low-level center, and it may potentially be downgraded for later on this afternoon. Located at 27.2 north, so it is fairly high in latitude, dealing with a lot of shear with it. We'll see what they do with it as of 11 o'clock, but notice almost 2,100 miles away from us here in eastern Carolina. And the official forecast track of it kind of has it just meandering around as we go on through the next several days here. Yeah, it may re-strengthen a little bit if it can get its act back together, but a very minimal tropical storm before it gets caught by the trough that's now currently going off the eastern U.S. and gets shunted way out into the Atlantic Ocean here. So that is Jerry on its way out there. The other area, again, is down here in the southwest Caribbean. That's what we're watching, some cluster of thunderstorms. No real low-level center to it, though, but the forecast models are trying to develop something out of it, and then the question is, where does it go? Well, the forecast models do take it on up in towards the Gulf of Mexico across the Yucatan Peninsula, and then eventually bend it off to the north and the northeast as it does encounter the trough that's going to be digging in. Now, the question is, what form is it going to be? Well, if you look at one forecast model, it's got a closed low-level center. The other ones kind of have a dispersed broad area of low pressure, and as a result, not anticipating any development or increased thunderstorm action with that, but it may bring enough tropical moisture up along that front, when that's the reason why it's being pulled north and eastbound here, that we see some increased tropical downpours across the southeast as we head on into this weekend. But for us, no real big threats. Sunshine, mid to upper 80s, where we're going to be. Again, I put a slim chance in of an isolated storm along the sea breeze front on Sunday. That's going to be few and far between. And then as we do head on into the early part of next week, it does look like next week will be a fairly rainy pattern for us here across the eastern Carolina area as a result of a couple troughs coming through and some of that enhanced tropical moisture. Have yourself a good Tuesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.